Hiya, welcome to another episode of The Ginger Fisherman. Today I'm out targeting Barbel, which is something that I'm going to try and make the most of before the season ends. I'm going to be trying a few different baits, more meaty stuff, because I'm trying to get, as I did last year, try to catch a double figure barbel by the end of the season. I'll quickly show you my setup. I mean, this is ever so slightly different to what I'm just about to use, but it's just a hook length change. This rig I actually used for bream fishing last weekend, and it's the exact same rig I used for my barbel at this time of the year when there's not many snags due to the weed dying back and all that with the high water and the cold weather. So what I've got here is I've got a feeder there. I think it's about 30 gram. Yes, it is 30 gram. And what I'll be doing is hacking ground bait into one end, filling it with pellets, hacking ground bait into the other end, and dropping that into the swim. And when that breaks down, the pellets will be released. And what I've got on the hook then is, hope you can see it there, that is a size 10 wide gape with two number 8 halibut pellets hair rigged on there, in the hope that I'm going to get a bigger fish. Now, the hook length you can see there is only probably not even a foot long. The hook length I will be using is going to be about 2 foot. As I say, I was using that for bream fishing at the weekend, the exact same setup, trying to get some big winter bream. I managed one fish. It wasn't huge, it was probably only about £3 on the local canal, but still enjoyable. So what I'm going to do is, that's my rig setup for today. What I'm going to do is unclip this, put another one on of about 2 foot, something like that. So anyway, I'll just change over unclip this, clip on another one, and then I'll get cast out. For the record, just in case you're wondering, that's a buffer bead there, covering a swivel. So you can see there, look, I have £6 main line going straight down, attaching to the swivel, which the buffer bead covers that end. And then on this end of the swivel, I've got £4.5, which if you know your swims well, you can get away with it like I do. I know there's not many low line snags, therefore I can get away with using lighter line. I actually haven't been snapped off as of yet on my £4 line for barbel this year, and I've probably caught over 10 fish on the £4 hook length with no issues. Right, so I'm going to crack on. as I said, today I come out with the purpose of trying to scout out some swims for Barbel where I can film underwater in this extremely cold weather. And by that, what I'm doing is I'm actually fishing the swims, and obviously if I can get fish or get takes or see any feeding, then it's a good place to start when I come with the underwater stuff. Now, as you can tell, I still have my mat on my back, and that's because I've just cast out with the 2 8mm halibut pellets, hair rigged on, and I didn't even get a chance to unpack all the rest of my stuff. The rod was looped over. I actually heard it before I saw it. I looked away, I heard a creaking noise, looked to the left and my rod was almost off the rest. I've just got it pegged into the edge now, with the bank stick actually, holding it in the net in the edge. So I'm going to quickly unpack this and we're going to get it onto the mat. Well impressed. A good start to a snowy morning. I don't know if you can see it, but the snow is actually coming down. It's very cold. It's not a huge fish, but it puts me well on my way to getting a double this year, because that's what I'm actually after before the season ends. If I'd fish it close, this is nowhere near, but I'm definitely not going to complain. And as you can see, come on, I'll have to rest drink water again if you're going to keep flipping around. As you can see there, right in the front of the mouth, the double pellets there. I'm just going to quickly unhook that. Stop it! There we are, the hook bait. Got it. I'll put that on to one side and I'll put it in my bag to dispose of. I don't want to leave it on the floor in case anyone's dog or anything ends up standing on it. I'll quickly show him to you because obviously he's been out of the water for a little bit now. There it is. Beautiful. Prince of the river. In pretty good shape. Just that little bit of damage on the dorsal fin. It could be anything from spawn early on in the year to being in someone's landing net. And I recognise this one. It's got a bit of a sort of hawk nose. Right, I'll get him back and we'll see if we can get anything else. I am well impressed. Literally the next cast out. Once again, still not got any real camera stuff set up around me to film sort of takes or anything. Just unpacking and rod hooped over again. This is what, 5-10 minutes after I just put that last fish away. Next cast out. It's a bit bigger. I should have really bought scales today. I didn't really expect the action. I thought maybe I'd get a few takes, but I didn't know how many fish I'd land. The pellets have come off, but the hook's nicely positioned in the bottom of the lip. Tackle that. There we go. Now this is a bit of a clunker. This is a fish of, I'd say 8 pound maybe. In fact, I might be overestimating there. It's definitely a 7. Whether it'd go 8 or not, I'm not too sure. But it's a big fish. And it's very nicely conditioned, hardly a mark on it, and definitely can't complain at that on this cold winter's day. Oh, this one put up a very good fight, so I'm going to get him back in the water very quickly. Once again, I'll put this one in the edge and keep it there for probably 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long it takes before this fish wants to go, and then we'll release him. Absolutely fantastic. It's exactly the same setup as what I showed you earlier on in the video. You've got a swivel there with a clip on it so you can change leads quick. You've got the buffer bead attaching the main line. I've actually upped it this session, just because I'm not as confident with this swim as I was in the last one. So I've got £8 main coming on to that, and off that I've got £6 hook length like that, and then about 2 to 2.5 foot hook length with size 10 on there, and as you can see, size 8mm pellet. Quite dark and murky out there. Now I'm using the halibut pellets like I was using before, but I'm also topping it off with a meaty krill pellet, which I'll show you in a moment, just to give it that bit more attraction. He's just been resting in the water, so he is a little bit lively now. Hopefully I won't have to get the forceps out for this one. There we go. Now that's just got a single halibut pellet on, but the krill pellet did actually come off. I hope you can hear me because of the wind. There we are, only a baby. Probably about £4 or £5, maybe 4, yeah, I'd say £4. Still a beautiful fish, great condition. We'll rest him and get him back. I hope you can hear me over all this wind. Well, I've probably just had one of the most frustrating things happen to me in barbel fishing. I thought I'd foul up to it because it was fighting so hard, so hard. I even had to walk downstream to try and land it. I could see the line coming off of its dorsal fin, and that's where it was stuck. And I've just been trying to pull it upstream constantly against that heavy flow with a barbel that was seemingly hooked in the dorsal fin. And now I've got it in the net, I've actually realised it's hooked in the mouth, but the line's travelled up. It's had a damaged dorsal fin, and the line's actually wrapped around the dorsal fin with the hook placed in its mouth. As you saw then, the take was pretty much, I just underarm flicked it out just while I was resting the other barbel. And when I let the other barbel go, I picked up the rod and it was on. That's why I assumed it would have been foul hooked. I thought I might have pulled it into it, but I'll go on to show you it now. The most frustrating barbel fight I think I've ever had. It's a fish of maybe £6. I'll show you exactly what happened right now. As you can see that, oh, hey, you are a nice fish actually. Hey, calm down. As you can see there, the hook is positioned nicely in the corner of the mouth. And then, what's happened is, I don't know if you can actually see it, but, which is quite disappointing really, the line is wrapped around in a circle around its actual dorsal fin. There we go. get that hook out quickly now. I'll show you the fish and I'll rest it for quite a while because obviously that fish was on for a long time with the line wrapped around its dorsal. But that was just taken on the single 8mm halibut pellet because, as I say, I just flicked it out as I was unhooking the other fish. And I can't believe how quick it took. So I'll quickly show you him now. It's a bit of a shame about the dorsal fin, but hopefully that'll heal. I've got some spray that I'll spray on it. It's antibacterial. But that's a fantastic fish. That's actually more like £7. A bit disappointing about the hook in the dorsal. Sorry, the line in the dorsal, but still a great fish. Happened again. I was resting the other fish in the water. This is a better fish. Well, you've just seen. I just walked back up the bank after just releasing the fish in the edge. It's a bit of a slack water. It started to kick, so I've sat it in the slack water and he sat there nicely right at my feet, and the rod just went, and it's going absolutely ballistic. I put money on it, this is probably a smaller fish, because the smaller fish seem to fight a lot harder, I find, especially in the barbel community. Well, this may be a very productive session, but getting a bit of funny things happening. I had that last barbel hooked in the dorsal fin. This barbel, fantastic, straight in next cast. Really cleanly hooked, really nice. He's very lively though, because I landed him quite quick. You can see that once again. Pellet set nicely in the mouth. Once again, the single 8mm halibut pellet, that's had 3 fish on that halibut pellet now from Dynamite, and absolutely pristine barbel, not a mark on it. It tends to be like that with the smaller fish. That's a fish of maybe 4 or 5 pound again. I'd say maybe more like 5. Put up a great scrap, but when I had the take, I got a bit overly excited because I was just resting the other fish in the water and stood on my landing net pole. But that's fishing. I'm just going to unhook this barbel now. I'll actually flick this straight back out because you never know. The way this session's going, I might get another fish on. How many barbel can you have in one swim at any one time? We'll rest him and see if we can catch anything else. It's happened again. Come off. Oh, fuck me. It just threw me up. What's with all these fish? Right, I'll pause the camera now. Make sure both these fish swim back strongly. The one's still sat in the slack. One of them's been now just sat resting on top of the net. I'll put some more bait in, take my time, and then carry on fishing. Wow. Definitely second biggest one today. I'm trying to keep them to put them all in. That would be a nice net fish, wouldn't it? Well, the old boy's got a key now, go that's the bar it is. I can't actually believe what's just happened. One, I've got a double hook up basically. As soon as I got one fish in the net, I've underarm flicked out the hook bait while I was unhooking the first fish, and it took off. I didn't manage to get that on film. Tried to squeeze both these fish into this net. The thing that I'm saying is amazing. There we go, just got the hook out of the second one. Is that one of them is a double. Look at the size of that fish. This is the biggest barbel I've ever caught. Absolutely pristine condition, complete tank. And the second fish I had is just a bit smaller. I'd say just a bit. It's probably the second biggest one of the session actually. Maybe pushing £7. There it is. I'm going to very quickly release the second fish, this one here, which is a beauty. And then what I'm going to do is rest that one in the edge, either in the sling or in the net, because the net's quite deep. While the rod comes down with the scales, it's going to be here in about 10 minutes because my scales have run out of power, unfortunately. So I'm going to rest this one. We'll take one more look at the big one before we rest him back in the water. Absolutely pristine condition, not a mark on him, and I can't be more pleased if I'm honest. Absolutely fantastic, over the moon.